He thought the political opposition would set up a big black flag operation to frame the events of January 6th to look like an insurrection. One where security guards would be instructed to let people into the Capitol, and the Speaker of the House would deliberately tell Capitol Police that extra officers would not be needed on that day. The FBI would have plainclothes agents acting as provocateurs in the crowd. They would illegally hold innocent people in jail for a year and a half. And then some sort of committee would be formed to propagandize and then investigate what they would call criminal activity on January 6th.
You!
JP, stop it.
Oh,
He's destroying the narrative. He is. Delph, have you heard about January 6th committee?
No, guys.
Okay.
I'm just so far from all this.
Yeah, what did
you guys
that's
keep me
happening.
informed.
That's happening. It's just the committee is supposedly looking at evidence to impeach Donald Trump. So once he been impeached, he can never become president again. So that's what's happening. But they're examining it from the baseline of January 6th, which happened in 2020. So they're using that and getting testimonies from people. So supposedly this is a testimony of one of the girls that said, and they're saying that testimony is like top of the line testimony, is it cream of the crop, whatever it is, right? And that's going to impeach him. But JP is just kind of like
thank
doing
you,
his
Mr.
thing.
E. I'm taking a picture of that.
Yeah, JP is doing his thing. So you guys can explain it to my wife much better. What's happening with Gen 6 right now. So, but JP is just giving his version of the story as we know he always does. So
Quickly, if your goals don't seem too far-fetched, then you haven't set your goals high enough.
there you go, Mr. E.
Mr. E. Is your name Edward? Okay. Megan said you should react to Awaken with JP when you're a doctor with a leftist.
When you're a doctor with a leftist.
Okay.
Okay.
I love JP.
Yeah, I
He
think
cracks me up.
we going through JP's.
Him
list
and now
right
that Babylonia guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
gosh.
good. All right, are you ready?
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
Let's get into the heart of the message here.
I need an eraser for my brain from all that stuff.
This just in! We have reports that the January 6th committee has a smoking gun testimony that proves President Trump committed crimes on January 6th. Trump will definitely be going to jail. This is a historic day. Cassidy Hutchinson has testimony that will send Trump to jail. She has first-hand accounts that Trump called for an insurrection. This is worse than Watergate, and we're 100% sure of that. Your grandchildren will know the name Cassidy Hutchinson. Bombshell testimony that Trump committed crimes on January 6th. This will be historic. Miss...
Before we go any further, I want to say, well, you haven't seen nothing yet. Why is this even a matter that needs to be discussed at this stage of our world?
Politics.
That's the best answer I could hear. Yeah, simple as that.
Lord, help us. We need to... Okay, dear God. Lord, this world is going through so much, and we just need your wisdom to penetrate the minds of the leadership and the people.
Mm-hmm.
God, we need you. We need Jesus. We do. We need God. So, yeah. I mean, it's not... I'm not even laughing. I'm smiling, but I'm not... I'm so serious. This is an honest prayer. Is sick. It was an honest prayer. Like, we just...
All right, JP. People. Go ahead, JP.
Because there's going to... You know what? Real quick. Because there's going to be a time where we won't have the power of the voice that we have today. No, because this stuff is going to be so infiltrated, and people are going to be so blinded. And I just am mad because I already know what's coming.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to get better.
Like, we're not going to be able to. We're only going to have so
videos like we doing right now, guys. This is part of the protest, So
yeah.
By the way, if you do, make sure you like and subscribe. The kind of work we're trying to do here is somewhat raising our voice and to say we're not okay with this. So we kind of like pushing back against the powers that be.
Pushing back the winds of strife.
The winds of strife, like James, the book of Revelation says. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Exactly. They want to keep Trump out of office. They want to make sure
the goal, ultimately.
Because, like, come on now. Why wouldn't we want to be able to eat off of our own land, feed off of our own land, and manufacture our own land? And even though, yeah, the prices might be different in that respect, like, because what happens is then those people who own all these oil companies and refineries and businesses out, and then the taxes and all that, so they lose,
as well.
Because Trump's bulk of his money is right here. It came from America. And that's where it should cycle through America.
Absolutely. Let's go.
January 6th. This will be historic. Miss Meadows, leading up to January 6th, what did then acting White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows tell you? I remember going to Mr. Meadows' office and he was scrolling on his phone. And I said to him, I just had a very interesting conversation with Rudy. It sounds like we're going to the Capitol. And he said to me, I don't know, Cass, but there's a lot going on. Things might get real bad on January 6th.
What is JP wearing, by the way?
I'm trying to figure it out too. Like,
well,
I'm trying to figure out the goal here.
He's kind of like acting like the girl who did testify.
Darth, is this photo something I should look at right now? Just throwing a yes or a no.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Wow.
Yeah, but this is gonna make sense as you listen. Yeah.
Could you tell us what President Trump meant when Mark Meadows said things might get real bad on January 6th? When Mr. Meadows told me that, what Trump was telling me directly is he wanted protesters to storm the Capitol and commit atrocious acts of violence. What type of violence was President Trump advocating for when Mark Meadows told you that? Stabbing people with bayonets. He wanted everyone to have very sharp bayonets on the end of handcrafted bamboo rods. It was very clear that he wanted them sharp and with serrated edges. And once the rioters had plunged the knife into their victims, he wanted them to do a twisting motion like this. Ms. Hutchinson, did President Trump ever tell you he was going to march to the Capitol? Yes.
You know JP
Kevin McCarthy said that to me. Could you tell us what President...
JP is backward in his...
Oh my gosh.
In his speech, right? You know that, right?
No, of course.
Yeah, so. Well, the testimony...
Yes.
I think the testimony is in this video. I think there's a short version of that. So you're going to be able to kind of add context to what JP is doing.
Thank you, Dar. I'll look at it then. I don't know if I can... My tummy can handle it right now.
But the testimony is actually very nice to listen to.
And can you put in what the actual video was too, with the string things? Sorry, that's other topic.
Yeah.
Woo!
President Trump was intending to do at the Capitol when Kevin McCarthy said that President Trump said he was going to march to the Capitol? What did he mean by march to the Capitol? He meant that he was going to go there to kill the vice president. We got him. And I think he succeeded in killing the vice president because he never went to the Capitol, and we haven't heard much from Mike Pence since. Your firsthand account of other people's firsthand accounts of President Trump, along with your precise interpretation, is all we need to lock him up for life.
That's what I'm saying.
And
this
to
is
prevent
word
him
like
from running for president.
By the way, it's not a first-hand account. She's just
but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is just where's the evidence? Show me, like,
we don't have evidence.
If you don't have real evidence, that's what I'm saying. He said, she said goes how far? What did someone put in here?
That's not even permissible in a court, is it?
Someone said a lie gets halfway around the world before you get your boots on. Someone put it
shoes is putting on his shoes,
being laced or something. Like, and I think he found his mom's Sears catalog too. But yeah,
that is.
Thank you, Dar.
But how many Americans really are paying attention to this? Let's be honest. How many of us are like thinking about this? Like,
I don't think so. I think people function off of feelings, and that is not an okay way to function in life. This makes me feel this way. This makes me feel that way. This person, while we need to be compassionate and while we need to make sure that we care about the feelings of others, not at the expense of exploiting our children, of exploiting our country, of destroying our own country, destroying the freedoms that we have here. You know, I'm telling you, I was not an America fan. I can admit to that. I was a person who was like, oh, Trump is so horrible, just focusing on mainstream media and not really looking into the depths of it until you really see, like, wow. Even though while I always thought his personality was bad, I did know, I did see how he was bringing more into our country, like keeping things in our own bounds. I did know that. That was something I never. My biggest issue was the way that he talked and the way that he It was character.
Yeah, we got.
I
caught
had
up in
character
behaviors.
issues with
Yeah.
him,
Mhm.
but as far as what he did in keeping America being able to getting America to be able to feed off of itself, fend for itself, live on its own should some catastrophe come, be able to manufacture our own products here and all those things, to me that was excellent. It just makes sense.
It does make sense.
Like, why would you go to another country
Mm-hmm.
and get things that you can get right here for money?
Yeah, and many
The
of those
prices of money, and then again, we look at the child labor laws and who's putting this stuff out, and then we look at their system of what's it called? How they produce things, like what's it called? Like
the supply chain.
no, not the supply chain. More so like the safety,
Mhm,
and the regulations, the
Mhm.
regulatory controls. Like, you want that important stuff. You want it to happen right here in your own
Mhm.
soil.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's what
Thank
it
you,
was.
James. Oh, okay, Megan. I don't think we read yours. Sorry, I'm on the wrong spot. Thank you, Darth. Again, and it's a witch hunt, hearsay, to make their political enemies villains. Hearsay, yeah, that's what we were just saying, to prevent Trump from running again. I was there.
Yeah.
What they portray on the left stream news is not accurate on what happened. So
Yeah.
true.
I don't even think they know they're gonna be able to book him this time for anything. I think it's just a matter. They just have to go through those exercises for other reasons, of course. I think it's a form of distraction as well against what is really, really going on in the country. And I
It's
think-
distractions.
yeah,
It's also
yeah.
like, I think, like they said, the core is to just keep making sure that because of what's happening now with our current leadership,
Mhm.
it looks so bad. It's like people are gonna just run back
Yeah.
to the other way. So they're trying to like hone in and make it really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make him just like, so
Are you
that
sure
people are
you
just
wanna
in
go
a real
back
state of like,
there?
oh no, like, who do we pick? What do we do? So they
Yeah.
can push their agenda.
We-
Thank you. You don't have a church family. Love watching us on Sundays. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's awesome. Then I forget
Yes,
your
Darth
real
Vader.
name. I think you put your real name in here, Chabotno.
Darth Vader. When you find the video, just put it on my Discord. We can talk from there. That's the easy.
Facts don't care about feelings.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. E. Keep up the good work. Thank you, James.
All right.
James, meet James. James, meet James.
Nice to meet you, James.
The Jameses. I love that name.
All right, let's go.
In 2024. Ms. Hutchinson, do you have any other firsthand accounts of President Trump's criminal acts on January 6th? Yes, I do. Let's get into those. Did Rudy Giuliani ever suggest he was interested in receiving a presidential pardon for the acts surrounding January 6th? He did. Why? Because he knew he was part of seditious criminal acts. That's clearly the only reason why he wanted a pardon. The only other possible reason why he would want a presidential pardon is because he thought the political opposition would set up a big black flag operation to frame the events of January 6th to look like an insurrection. One where security guards would be instructed to let people into the Capitol, and the Speaker of the House would deliberately tell Capitol Police that extra officers would not be needed on that day. The FBI would have plainclothes agents acting as provocateurs in the crowd. They would illegally hold innocent people in jail for a year and a half. And then some sort of committee would be formed to propagandize and then investigate what they would call criminal activity on January 6th.
You!
JP, stop it.
Oh, gosh.
He's
That's too
destroying the narrative. He is. Oh my goodness.
And then Mr. Giuliani would be safe from that corrupt political persecution. But that would be far-fetched, and to my knowledge, no such committee exists. Therefore, it's clear that Rudy Giuliani wanted a pardon because he was guilty of criminal acts on January 6th.
Where is the evidence for this?
Please.
The possibility.
I want to read it. I don't want to hear it. I want to read it, and I want to read it
This is
in
funny.
its original format,
Yeah.
from its original IP
It's like,
address.
do you think people
its original-
are we that dumb that,
That
you don't think we
after
can
this
think
this
for
far
ourselves?
away, now you're gonna create something.
This is so disrespectful. Like, this is how low you think of the American people? Like, this is crazy. Like, can we think from cause to effect? Don't we know a criminal from an innocent man? I
That
can.
is wild.
Anyway, that is just crazy to me.
Ms. Hutchinson, all of us on the January 6th committee appreciate your brave testimony. Thank you. What other criminal acts did you see President Trump commit? I went into the dining room where I noticed the waitstaff changing a tablecloth. Then I looked over towards the fireplace and mantel. That's when I first noticed ketchup dripping down the wall. And just to be clear, the ketchup was still dripping at this point? It was. And then I noticed there was a shattered porcelain plate on the floor. The valet staff then indicated to me that President Trump got very angry while watching the Attorney General give an interview to the Associated Press, and he threw his lunch against the wall. Miss Hutchinson, did you taste the ketchup? I did. What did it taste like? Violence. And Miss Hutchinson, was it organic ketchup? It was not. What message?
What do you mean it wasn't organic ketchup? There's no better ketchup than organic ketchup.
Yeah, violence.
She tasted violence. Come on, JP. This is too much.
Wow. That's the evidence you want to bring to the court, JP? I mean,
Do you think President Trump was trying to convey to you with the ketchup on the wall? I think the ketchup symbolized the blood that President Trump wanted to be shed at the Capitol that day.
Oh, come on.
He was speaking in symbolism here. Okay, I got it. We have to come on. That's what it represents. You have to be able to discern now.
And is it true that Trump was also not in the room with you when any of this happened? It is true. Another smoking gun. Could you tell us what happened in the presidential limousine that you were also not in? I remember it vividly. Trump wanted to go to the Capitol, but the Secret Service refused, saying it's unsafe, that they're going to take him back to the West Wing. The president then reached up and grabbed the steering wheel, which I think is a crime. Does President Trump have a valid driver's license? I've never seen it. Then it certainly is a crime. And how did it make you feel when President Trump grabbed the steering wheel? I felt sexually violated.
No, she wasn't in the limousine. In the vehicle. She wasn't in the vehicle.
No.
But this is what they do. And someone would say, he's the perpetrator.
Second-hand testimony. So what if the president had grabbed the vehicle?
She wasn't even there.
What are we talking about?
You understand?
Can we just close the door?
This is mainstream media for you. Having conversations about things that don't exist.
Yeah.
Things that haven't happened.
Yeah.
And things that they conjure up in their own brains that they think might happen.
But the people that were there are not even allowed to testify. The people that were there when supposedly that testimony is the real agents that were there, they said, that didn't happen. But I think JP is going to show us that. But I think the media is weird.
He said that you wore it, and then she said,
I feel sexually violated.
It's just sad because
grabbed
Yeah.
the steering wheel. I felt sexually violated. I believe you because you're a woman. Well, also not knowing what a woman is. What do you remember seeing next in the limo that you weren't in? He then used his free hand to lunge at the Secret Service.
Look at the guys behind him on that green screen picture. They're looking up like...
Service agent, specifically at his clavicle. Ma'am, I'm the agent that was there with the president in the limo, and I am willing to testify under oath that that story is completely fabricated. Sir, please sit down. You weren't there. We're only taking testimony from eyewitnesses. Miss...
You understand? That's exactly what I'm saying. She wasn't there.
She heard somebody said, and she's testifying based on somebody else's testimony.
And this is a really key testimony that is going to take Trump down. This is supposedly the key testimony that's going to take people down. That's the bombshell. And the people who were there are being prohibited from testifying.
They spoke, on Fox News. They all say that didn't happen. But that is not to be considered in the meeting.
Who's the committee made up of?
Well, mainly of left wing.
What is but
anti-Trump move.
Okay, but what is the point?
The point is to impeach the president.
How can they impeach the president off of someone who wasn't there? It doesn't make any sense. This is all senselessness.
I'm confused, just like JP is right now.
And this is what they do. They promote all this confusion, and you get so lost in the confusion. Before you know it, boom, they made a decision, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm still confused.
What?
Because she wasn't there.
I
And the
think
people who were there said they're willing to speak. But the people who are going to make the final decision
this is an insult.
are saying, no, he can't speak.
Yeah.
They can't speak. It's just...
It makes no sense. This is an insult on people like you and I. Like, do they really think we are that dumb?
Like, this is common sense.
Like, do they really think we are so dumb we're gonna just gobble up everything that they say? Like, we can't think? Like, really? Like, this, forget about political sides. If the man did something wrong, by all means, he needs to be held responsible and accountable for that. But they've been talking about this for how long now? The average American person really don't care because they know this is really nonsense. Like, can we be honest? Like, apart from political view, like, we don't really care because we know, like, there's some shady stuff happening behind the scene. And
but the fact that they can actually...
But the fact they put this on television and talking as if they got something going on, they are really insulting our intelligence. That's what I think. I'm like, you think I'm that stupid, right?
And that's the other question. So how can they make it so that he can't run for presidency again? Like, what exactly would it be
They
called?
have to find it has to be a crime. I forgot what it's called. It has to be considered a crime against the Constitution or a bad enough crime.
I just don't know enough about this.
I need to look it up.
I think the common sense
for you to be
me,
impeached, you have to do some type of some type.
But they're making a very valid point. Like, he's not the president right now. You got to impeach the president.
That even makes. But once he's impeached, he can never run again.
But he can't be impeached because he's not the president right now. So they would have to put some blockade up
to make sure
he can't. But it's not a real impeachment.
But then in 2024, there's a high chance
that he could be reelected.
He could be reelected. So they're trying to like putting some guardrails here. That's
I thought he wasn't running. I heard so.
Yeah, I heard that's what I heard too. But some people are saying he might run. The decision hasn't been really.
There's no crime. Thank you, Megan. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, zero whatsoever.
I don't know, guys.
Let's finish. We gotta go.
This is all weird.
Very.
Ms. Hutchinson, we have a handwritten note that proves your relevance as a witness. The note says, anyone who entered the Capitol without proper authority should leave immediately. Did you write this note? Yes, I wrote it for the president. I matter. Why is the note written in Eric Hirschman's handwriting? Because sometimes I like to write in his handwriting. Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson, for providing this bombshell testimony that's more than enough proof that President Trump instructed the masses of people to storm the Capitol and commit horrible acts of violence during the mostly peaceful insurrection on January 6th. And there you have it, the January 6th Committee's smoking gun.
Wow.
It will change the USA. Lies you can trust.
He is
testimony. Powerful. That's your proof that Trump committed multiple crimes. Can we get him in jail already? All your descendants will remember the name Kathy Anderson. Cassidy Anderson. Kathy Hutchinson? Cassidy
Exactly.
Hutchinson. Truly a historic day.
Thank you, JP.
Thank you, JP.
Awakened with JP.
Yeah, we have been awakened indeed. Babylon B had a version of this that I wanted you to see. Can we be honest here? They need to stop wasting our time. Just stop wasting our time.
Well, the problem is there's real issues in the world, and this is what they're spending money, they're spending time, they're spending they're putting this stuff on the media. Like, it's just so sad to see the focuses are so irrelevant.
It is. People got real. We have real issues to worry about.
There's real stuff happening. There's real.
Like, there's real suffering.
Yeah.
There's real pain. Like, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars just to, like. Do you think we are that dumb? Like, come on, please. Stop wasting our time.
It's just wild.